All right. Everything is connected to a center of gravity. Multiple universes are connected to frequencies in this gap with different pitches. And so the center of all gravity, trees, reefs, rivers, flowers, bacteria, insects, animal, birds, humans to cities and tools are all shaped in this balance. So the center of balance is created with a certain type of frequencies, and so away from this center creates predators, and in the center to grass and deers connects to the prey. So the trees, the grass, the bush, the air with the lungs and the heartbeat all creates this center of balance with multiple frequencies of prey and predators, making that center more faster, powerful, and stronger of a body shape to each other. The deers are more agile, the lions are more robust. So this started the evolution to that land area, time, and air that was more humid or more oxygen based. So it does the same thing in the center of the room. It creates multiple spaces that are not connected, but throughout the day they start connecting in this space. So it creates, over here you have a cannon explode. Where the line bends is connected to the gravity where it loses its power. That line and back to where it started from creates multiple spaces of frequencies that spreads apart in a circle, and allows us to connect multiple parts of ourselves throughout the day in creativity or socializing. It does the same thing in the arena. It times the clock, the quarter, the players' skills. It times the other team's pressure, their defense, your offense, or your defense, their offense. It times the three-pointer line, the two-pointer, the layup, the free throws. It creates the mood in how to go about the game to the other person's pressure. And it creates multiple, we're synchronized in between the frequencies, the height of the frequency, the length of this frequency, or the width of the frequencies in between the frequencies, or overlapping the width in between those frequencies, the length. And so it creates multiple gaps. The gaps are connected to the direction, the distance, the motion, the sound, it connects to the size, to the energy, and it creates, we fall in between, we become mesmerized in between that frequency in a gap and in a pitch. This allows 1, 2, and 3 dimensional spaces with multiple dimensions in between. This space is connected to 7, 23, and 7 degrees of light. And so multiple universes are connected to this space. 7 degrees, the hydrogen is 70% in the sun, 23% helium. The same with the universe, 70%, 23. Then the air is connected to 70% nitrogen, 23% oxygen. The land mass is 70% to the ocean mass. The water in the body is 70%. This connects to a center of gravity of balance in evolution. The center of balance with the uneven lands colliding creates a center of hot and cold air that creates rain, or creates a center that creates shallow waters to fill with leaves, and the carbon not releasing turns into coal with the sand over the leaves and pressurizing it. This pressure also creates oil, limestone with fish bones in the bottom of the ocean, with sand from the mountain turn it into sandstone. If the land moves underneath the mountain, the limestone will turn into granite or marble. So it does the same thing with lava, with water going inside the lava and exploding the mountain. This 70, 27, and 23 degrees is connected to the formation of the dust, 2 pebbles, 2 asteroids, 2 protoplanets, and then 2 planets. This unevenness creates the balance. The unevenness is connected to the neutron, electron, proton, that creates an uneven frequencies. The electron move around in a circle but farther away from the center. When the neutrino jumps out and synchronizes with the electron, it balances to more of a closer center to the proton and neutron, and it creates a wave, a balanced wave. So evolution is this uneven 23, 70 degrees, 70%, that changes the 7% into a 70%. It changes the 23% into a 7%, and 70% to 23% of negativity to more positive with the technology, power, respect, and know-how, bettering this technology. So the 70% is connected to the toes and the fingers and the eyes, that connects to gravity, the tension of the floor, the timing of the feet to the floor, and the tension has its own timing. The body and the heat to the wall has its own timing. The eyes to the objects and the people has its own timing. This 70% allows us to walk through gravity with the heart and the lungs easily. And this 70% is connected to the number of beauty, that the flowers and the mountains and the trees are connected to this number of beauty, and the bones in the body that's connected. The 3 and the 5 is over here, is connected to the leaves, that the 3 leaves overlap each other away from the 5 leaves on the side, that connects to a 3 and 5, the number of beauty. The petals on the leaves is connected to the number of beauty. Different petals on different leaves is connected to a 3, a 5, or a 5 and an 8, or whatever uneven amount is connected to other flowers in the center of beauty. The center of beauty is connected to, over here you have a triangle type of thing, and the center of beauty, the number falls across on the side to the number of beauty. You put that number of beauty in a circle, and over here you could connect the muscle, and the muscle creates a tight and looseness with the cartilage, the tendon, and edges of the muscle around the bone that gets tight for us to grip, grab, hold, jump, balance on bikes, balance on skateboards. So the body gets tight and loose, uneven, from the feet to the calves, to the hands, to the biceps, to the back, to a neutral balance, and feels comfortable once we learn how to balance in riding a bike, a skateboard, jumping, or whatever. And so over here you have speed confronts gravity in the right distance. The direction of objects overcomes pressure of other people or other objects. Heat and compressed level accelerates places. So the quality, the class of the place accelerates if you're not from that neighborhood or used to the people. And so the structure, tension of gravity rejects objects in their place or rejects class and style. The gravity shapes space in a certain size. Friends, place, creativity. Gravity shapes space in a certain size. Friends, place, or creativity. We are uneven in personality, compassion, independence, and we shape each other's levels in creativity. Everybody is uneven in a 7% of discipline, of focus, of choice, of privilege, acceptance, family, friends, neighborhoods, race, class. They all frequency proteins that are uneven. Over here you have gravity shapes the space in a certain size range. Structure size determines gravity's level. So the structure size, if we're not confident in ourselves, we will be intimidated by somebody's energy, somebody's size, or the environment, the sophistication of the environment, the professional. Space is pressured to distant levels. So we feel a certain openness to a certain pressure level. So we have our nature within us already, our personality, and the space and the open-mindedness. The drugs, the liquor, the experience, the girls, the clothes, the greasy food separates in between our hearing, our vision, the feet with the tension on the floor, the heat and the body and the focus in the object creates a certain philosophy to our new understanding in between that space. Space is governed to a 70 degrees. It's stiff, it stuffs, it disconnects, it blocks, it loosens, and only lets us see to that uneven sophistication, professional, or modern way of living. And so we are automatic from where we start from. Our skill is automatic from where we start from. We got to withstand, to have control. Mastering timing determines levels, distance, how far you will go if you master your timing. Over here, you have muscles that separate. In between those lines, you got 3 levels of lines that separate outward or inward. They could separate independently or together. This creates the grip and the grab. And for you to grip and grab a needle or a remote control or a hammer and uses the right strength. Over here, you have the stomach that has 4 different layers in different directions that allows the stomach to contract and extract, contract and expand in multiple strengths and levels. Over here you have muscles in different levels of the face in different directions that get tight and loose and allows you to create different movement in the face. So from the jaw to the tongue, uneven grittiness to the focus. It has to create a protein in the eye, a comfortability with a sturdiness or steeliness. When you're experiencing new things, you're mostly stern and hard and bitter, or this allows you to absorb new things that are awkward with drinking, drugs, or whatever, and you create multiple. Our muscle is 3-dimensional. It's from inner layers and outer layers. It's from the cartilage, the bone, and the tendon that creates uneven, tight, and looseness in extreme unevenness. So for us to feel comfortable in our expression, but it's 2-dimensional. Just like the 2 eyes, the 2 hands, or the hands, the bicep, and the forearm. That's 3-dimensional, or 1 arm or 1 leg that is 1-dimensional, or 1 body. Over here you have multiple cartilage. The cartilage are wrapped around other cartilage that allows you to move left, right, forwards, backs in that cartilage tightness level. Over here you have cartilage in your knee that crisscross in the middle, and then have cartilage on the side of your knee and in the front of your knee to move left and right very easily. All right. Over here you have a liquid chemical that they put in another chemical, and they spun that chemical and it fogged and spread apart in that fog. When it went the opposite direction, the chemical reconnected, because there's a certain chemical reaction to the other chemical. It reconnected in a certain color frequencies and completely went back to the first shape that it was. We are like that chemical. We're in the 7, 70, 23 uneven percentage of discipline in our suspense, discipline in our adventure, discipline in our refinedness, in our attention, and everybody has it in different amounts, in different levels. They have short attention, insecure, depressed, the high class and low class, and this unevenness creates the balance. Over here you have the element table. The element table is connected to gas, rock, and metal. This unevenness in a highly refined frequency allows complexity, different proteins, different air, different rocks. Over here you have the evolution of land in many levels. So the land has to collide to create mountains, or create gold, or create charcoal, or marble, or limestone, or create in different lands, moving to hot and cold areas, extreme areas, creates different types of foods and woods that are opposite to that environment. Over here you have the eye. The eye you can see in the center of the pupil and around the outer center of the pupil, and on the sides the grittiness controls the eye focus in a calm base, and only in the right degree and percentage to the rest of the body in a loose level, but only in the right grittiness, we're able to focus on certain things and then make it even more stronger. The hearing, the balance has to register in the brain, the breathing, the heartbeat, the food, the smell, the taste has to register in the brain for it to feel good. So it registers in the brain. It creates a comfort feel in the ear, in the eyes to beauty, in the stomach to food, when it registers in the brain, knowing what you're eating, and to balance your legs. And so the 7 degrees, 7 and 23 degrees is different tension in the timing in the feet, heat, timing to the body and the wall, and the focus to the pressure and objects and people. That focus connects you to liking that sport. So you have a more open-minded or free spirit, and a more patient to basketball, baseball, football, and you're highly refined on the highest level, so you're able to dominate other people where other people don't take sports that seriously. They're only connected to a certain amount, and they don't beat records, they don't win championships, but they play other sports because they're not as focused as you are. White people, just like rock, push heat out. They don't absorb the heat. Black people absorb the heat. They pull it in. But the black people have the right. The white people have the art of wonder. The red people, or the scientists, tug with choice. And so it's connected to the 70 degrees of democracy, 7 religion, and 23 civil rights creates the balance. The black skin connects to the center of gravity in the jungle, the round face and the flat nose. The desert connects to the beak nose and the triangle chin and the red skin, and the snow connects to the white and blue eyes and blonde hair, with the square head connects to the protein of eating the fish. And so this automatic number, it registers in the uneven, how much you're gonna like the person, how much you don't like the person. So the planets over here, the suns are giant and then become smaller and smaller and become dwarf. So this unevenness is connected to the brain, the left side of the brain and the right side of the brain, that creates an opposite frequency and pitch to the environment. So it connects to territorial, dream, logic, philosophy, dominant, submissive, positive, negative, conscious, subconscious. These right here spread apart just like that, just like the suns, to connect to space. So the brain connects the nose and your chin and your eyes to your gestures, your laughing, your smirk, to angles of the room. It connects to the what, when, where, how, why, to the tolerance, confidence, joy, to the to swaying your body, to crying, to laughing, to caress, into a center of define, bind, connect, create, and guide. And so the brain connects all the spaces. So space is really upside down and downside up, but it's also small size, big size, with race or just style, small size, and silly and goofy. We become smaller sizes to these spaces. And so it's also connected to top and bottom. that's separated from upside down, so it creates multiple spaces. So over here, you have the element table. You have proteins that move in the body and have different wobbly or crawling or different protein